ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
It looked like a movie scene from the worst horror movie you've seen.
A witness describes the scene after a plane on its way to El Cajon crashed and caught fire, killing 2 people. This small plane took off from Las Vegas this morning and was headed for Gillespie Field. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala has the first-hand account of the tragedy.
A small plane was supposed to land here at Gillespie Field, but the FAA confirmed that it was only in the air for about 9 minutes before it went down in Las Vegas, killing the 2 people on board.
It was awful.
Bruce Langston was in his construction trailer at a site where he's building a home on Raven Avenue in southwest Las Vegas Thursday morning when he heard what he says sounded like a low-flying helicopter. And moments later,
Then I heard a thud crash and a gigantic ball of flame. Fuel splashed over my construction trailer.
This is video of the aftermath from our sister station in Las Vegas. According to the FAA, the twin-engine 1974 Cessna 310 had 2 people on board when it went down after only flying for about 9 minutes. The Clark County Fire Department, along with Las Vegas Metro Police, quickly responded, but unfortunately the 2 people inside were killed. The plane's destination was supposed to be Gillespie Field.
Ran around and saw that it was just totally engulfed in flames. It was a giant fireball. There was nothing I could do personally to assist anyone there.
Part of Langston's trailer was burned, and he says he was overcome by fumes at one point, but was able to get out uninjured and dial 911. Emergency crews were already on the way. The identities of the 2 victims have not yet been released. Both the FAA and the NTSB are investigating, and the NTSB is in charge of this investigation and will determine the probable cause of the crash. We did compare the plane's tail number to a plane on the flight tracker with the same route, and it does appear that this plane was registered to someone out of La Jolla, but what we don't know right now is if that owner was on board. We will continue to follow this story and bring you any new developments. Reporting in Gillespie Field, Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
A gruesome mystery unfolding tonight on Fiesta Island. A man found what appeared to be human remains in a fire pit today. He flagged down a lifeguard who called police. The homicide unit is now working with the arson team to figure out exactly what happened. The man who found the bones and teeth says he didn't think they were real at first.
I thought it was a Halloween prop or a joke or something, that they were all partying and somebody threw it in the fire as a joke, to burn it up.
Pictures of the remains were sent to a forensic anthropologist who believes they're possibly human. Police say they're not releasing any other information right now to protect the integrity of the case.
Turning now to the coronavirus, and here are the latest numbers. The county reported 358 new cases today. That brings our total to just under 56,000. There were also 4 new deaths, bringing that total to 885. Pumpkin patches are one of the few family attractions open this year, but are they operating properly considering many amusement parks and playgrounds are closed to prevent this very type of behavior? ABC 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena sorts out what's allowed.
This is cell phone video taken this week of the Pumpkin Station on Camino del Rio South in Mission Valley. Lots of people and some not wearing masks, and there are several small rides operating. This is the same location during the day Thursday. ABC 10 News reached out to the owner, who didn't want to talk on camera, but says they have a capacity limit of 250 people, require employees to undergo temperature checks and wear face masks. But he says they can't make customers wear face masks if they don't want to. As for the rides, he says he tried to contact the San Diego County Health Department about what was allowed, but never heard back. He says the rides are sanitized between each use. When ABC 10 News contacted the county, we were referred to these state guidelines for amusement and theme parks, which say all operations must be closed in the red and purple tiers. San Diego is still in the red. As for other spots like the Strawberry Fields in Carlsbad, there aren't rides, but there are inflatables. The owner of the company who operates them, Carlsbad Lagoon, didn't want to speak on camera either, but said they've been working with the county since they reopened. There's no specific state guidelines for inflatables, but a county spokesperson says as long as it's not completely enclosed, think slides and obstacle courses, it's allowed.
I love pumpkin.
As for sanitation, Carlsbad Lagoon says they sanitize frequently and restrict admission to adhere to social distancing guidelines. Lindsay Pena, ABC 10 News.
The Pumpkin Station says it's only open for 2 more days. The county did say they would refer the matter to enforcement.
Your voice, your vote. Nearly half of registered voters in San Diego have cast a ballot in next week's election. Today, the registrar said more than 937,000 ballots have been received. If you still want to turn in your ballot early, you can drop it off at any drop box. If you want to vote in person early, you can do so at the registrar or starting Saturday at your assigned polling place. And with only a few days until the election, San Diego police are preparing for the possibility of big demonstrations next Tuesday and beyond. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner talked to police about how they plan to handle it.
SDPD has 9 divisions throughout the city. The department says it's up to each division's captain to determine the appropriate staffing levels for the election. Fears of an uncertain future leading to fears of potential unrest. ABC 10 News spoke to San Diego Police's Lieutenant Sean Takeuchi about preparations for fallout from the election.
We don't have any credible information to say that there's going to be civil unrest or large protest groups out on election day or soon thereafter election day. However, we have been in contact with other cities throughout the United States. We've been in contact with our federal partners in the United States, and we're preparing for possible unrest to occur on election day and afterwards.
He won't reveal the department's staffing levels, but said they will be ready to handle the calls. Officers are mindful of concerns surrounding the ballots and the pandemic.
As humans, when you don't know your future, when there's uncertainty in the future, I think it brings out a little bit of anxiety. And so we are, I think, aware of that and the emotions.
Part of our work at Protect the Results is to encourage every American to be patient and realize that it could take days, if not longer, before we know the full count of this election.
Sean Eldridge is with Protect the Results, which he said is focused in part on preparing several upcoming rallies in San Diego and beyond.
We have nearly 400 pre-planned events across the country, which could happen as early as the afternoon of Wednesday, November 4th, the day after the election, if Trump were to try to undermine the election results.
He said all participants are being encouraged to sound off safely and peacefully.
So we are focused on nonviolent mobilizations and rallies if needed.
SDPD is asking for any groups planning demonstrations to please reach out to them ahead of time so they can start preparing to ensure their safety and the general public's safety. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
And the contentious battle over this election is even extending to people's yard signs. Surveillance video appears to show a child and an adult stealing Trump-Pence signs in El Cajon and in Coronado. In Coronado, that is, police responded to 7 homes yesterday where a sign reading "Racism lives here" appeared in front of homes of people with Trump signs or flags.
I was always taught to love my country, and part of that is the freedom of speech and your right to personal property, and the safety of having your own property means no one can trespass on it.
On the other side, we found numerous examples on Nextdoor of Biden-Harris signs being stolen across the county. Campaign sign theft qualifies as a misdemeanor petty theft, which carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail. ABC 10 News is your source on election night. We will have live wall-to-wall coverage on your favorite streaming device, including Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your smartphone. To watch, just download the ABC 10 News app or go to 10news.com for the very latest on all the races that matter to you.
A bit of shaking in the northeastern edge of the county this afternoon. A 3.4 earthquake hit about 2:30 in Anza Borrego Desert State Park, about 12 miles from Mount Laguna. Some people felt the shaking, but there are no reports of any damage or injuries.